Have you noticed? Sometimes just a few careless words, and suddenly the whole room looks at you differently. One slip of the tongue, and in that instant, you've lost respect, you've lost presence, and sometimes you've lost your power. Think back. If in a meeting you speak up, but your colleagues glance past you and move on. In an argument, you let out a weak phrase, and the other person seizes control. Or in love, you say words that seem harmless, but they silently teach the one you care about that your voice can be ignored. This is not an accident. Words are the map of the mind, and when you choose the wrong ones, you place yourself lower than you truly are. The Romans knew this. The Stoics lived by it. Seneca wrote, "Brevity and calm in speech carry more force than the loudest cries of the crowd." Epictetus reminded his students, "Discipline in words reflects discipline in thought." Today, I will reveal to you 5 words that a Stoic would never say, because each of these words is a trap, a silent thief that steals your strength. And the final one, number 5, is the trap almost all of us fall into, almost every single day. Miss it, and you risk living a lifetime where your voice is trampled without you even noticing. Stay with me until the end, because sometimes keeping your power doesn't come from adding more words, but from cutting out the very ones that are quietly destroying you. And if you believe, as I do, in mastering yourself, in building a presence that cannot be shaken, then take a moment now to subscribe to the Stoic Habit, so together we can keep growing stronger. Word 1, sorry when it isn't necessary. Picture this. You're presenting an idea. The energy in the room is building. Eyes are on you. And suddenly, someone cuts you off. Almost without thinking, you say, "Sorry, go ahead." It sounds polite, doesn't it? But here's the truth. When you say sorry in that moment, you are not being polite. You are giving yourself permission to vanish. You are stepping back into the shadows. You are silently announcing to everyone in the room, "My thoughts matter less than yours." Epictetus warned his students, "No one can diminish you without your consent." And that is exactly what happens. Every time you apologize unnecessarily, you hand over your consent. You surrender your authority, and you teach people to step over your words. Now imagine a real scene. A young employee in a meeting with clients. He has a sharp idea, one that could change the direction of the discussion. But the moment his boss interrupts, he blurts out, "Sorry, please continue." And just like that, his idea dies. The clients forget him. His colleagues forget him. The room moves on, and he becomes nothing more than background noise. Contrast this with a seasoned leader. The same interruption happens, yet this time, he doesn't shrink. He doesn't apologize. Instead, he looks up, steady and calm, and says, "Listen, there's more." Feel the difference? One phrase erases your presence. The other deepens it. One tells the world, "I am noise." The other declares, "I carry substance." This is the Stoic lesson. Authority does not shout. Authority does not beg. Authority is embodied in the way you refuse to give away your ground. So, the next time you feel sorry rising to your lips, pause. Ask yourself, are you truly at fault? Or are you about to hand someone the permission to step over your voice? Because if you wish to be heard, if you wish to command respect, you must guard your words as you would guard your own life. And the first word you must guard against is sorry. Word 2, maybe. Now let's talk about the second word that silently drains your power. The word maybe. Think about how often you've heard it. Maybe we should try this. Maybe I'll give it a shot. Maybe that's the answer. It sounds harmless, but hidden inside maybe is a signal of doubt, a signal of hesitation. And when others hear it, what they really hear is, this person is not certain. This person does not fully believe their own words. And here's the truth, when you speak without conviction, people stop listening. Because why should they believe in you if you don't even believe in yourself. Marcus Aurelius once reminded himself, "Hold to what is necessary. Do not be distracted by what does not matter." On the battlefield, a Roman general could never say, "Maybe we should attack." If he did, soldiers would hesitate. Doubt would spread like fire. A single maybe could collapse an entire legion. Now picture this in modern life. You're in a negotiation, the stakes are high, and you say, "Maybe we can lower the price." What happens? The other side smells weakness. They push harder. They know you've already cracked. Or imagine a relationship. Your partner asks, "Do you want to build a future together?" And you reply, "Maybe." What you thought was honesty lands instead as uncertainty, and uncertainty erodes trust. But look at leaders who inspire. They rarely use maybe. Instead, they anchor their words with clarity. This is the plan. Here's what we will do. Even when the path is difficult, they declare it with strength because conviction commands respect. This is the Stoic way. Epictetus told his students that the discipline of thought must show in the discipline of speech, and nothing reveals a wavering mind more than maybe. So the next time you feel it rising, stop. Ask yourself, am I truly uncertain, or am I simply afraid to commit? Because life will not wait for your hesitation, and neither will the people around you. If you want respect, drop the maybes. Speak with clarity, speak with presence, and watch how the world listens differently. Word 3, can't. The third word is one we've all spoken, but it is perhaps the most dangerous of all. The word is can't. I can't do this. I can't handle it. I can't change. At first, it feels honest. It feels real. But beneath the surface, can't is a prison. The moment you say it, you chain yourself to limitation. You are no longer a fighter, you are a victim of your own words. Seneca wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." And that is the truth of can't. Most of the time, it is not reality holding you back. It is the picture in your mind. It is fear disguised as certainty. Picture this. A student about to speak in front of a class whispers, "I can't do this." And in that moment, his body believes it. His voice shakes, his mind collapses. Not because he truly lacked the ability, but because he declared defeat before the battle even began. Or think of a young professional facing a difficult client. She says, "I can't deal with them." And instantly, her creativity shuts down. Solutions that could have appeared vanish. The word can't doesn't just describe failure, it creates it. But the Stoics refused to live in that prison. They understood that life will hand us storms, yet within those storms lies our strength. So instead of saying can't, they reframed the truth. This is difficult, but it is possible. This is heavy, but I can carry it one step at a time. And something extraordinary happens when you shift from can't to possible. Your mind begins to search for solutions instead of excuses. Your body responds with courage instead of collapse. You stop being a victim of circumstance and you become its master. Remember this, every time you say, "I can't," the world takes you at your word. People stop relying on you. Opportunities pass you by, not because you were incapable, but because you convinced everyone, including yourself, that you were. So guard against this word. Replace it with strength. Replace it with resolve. Because a Stoic does not say, "I can't." A Stoic says, "I will try, I will endure, I will rise." Word 4, whatever. The fourth word seems casual, almost harmless, but it is poison to your presence. That word is whatever. Think about what it really says. Whatever doesn't mean peace. It doesn't mean acceptance. It means, I don't care. My voice has no weight here. My opinion doesn't matter. And every time you say it, people believe you. They begin to treat you as someone who has stepped out of their own life. someone whose choices don't matter, someone who can be overlooked. Picture this. A manager asks his team, "Which direction should we take?" And one of them shrugs, "Whatever you decide." It sounds agreeable, but what the manager hears is disengagement. This person is not invested. This person cannot be trusted with responsibility or in love. Your partner asks, "Where should we go tonight?" And you answer, "Whatever." At first, they may smile, but deep down, they feel something colder, that you are not fully present, not truly there with them. Over time, whatever erodes the bond, because love requires presence, attention, not dismissal. The Stoics never said, "whatever." Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Do not waste what remains of your life in speculation of what others think. Focus only on what is essential." Essential, never whatever. For whatever is not peace, it is surrender. Now imagine a leader in the Roman Senate. If he stood and said, "Whatever the others think," he would be forgotten before he sat down. But if he said, "The important matter is this," all eyes would turn to him. That is the difference. One word dissolves your presence. The other anchors it. So when you feel whatever rising, stop. Replace it with intention. Say, "Here's what matters." Say, "This is what I think." Even if it's small, even if it's simple, declare it with weight. Because whatever is the language of resignation. But presence is the language of power. And a Stoic never resigns their voice. They choose, they decide, they stand. Word 5, always divided by never. The fifth trap is subtle, but it destroys more relationships, more respect, and more trust than almost any other. It is the language of extremes, the words always and never. Think about how often you've heard it. You never listen to me. You always forget. You never care. In moments of anger, these words spill out. Sharp, absolute, final. But here's the problem. They are almost never true. And because they exaggerate, they don't invite dialogue. They ignite defense. Picture a couple arguing. One says, "You never respect me." Do you think the other person listens with compassion? No, they start searching their memory for the times they did show respect. They prepare their defense. The conversation is lost. Not because the concern wasn't real, but because the words never and always turned it into an attack. Epictetus warned, "Do not exaggerate what is outside your control." And this is exactly what happens when you use absolutes. You take a single mistake, a single moment, and you inflate it into a permanent truth. In politics, in families, in friendships, these words burn bridges. A leader who says, "You never deliver," destroys his team's trust. A parent who says, "You always disappoint me," plants shame instead of growth. And shame, once planted, grows into silence. But the Stoics offered another way. Instead of absolutism, they practiced precision. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, focus only on what is essential. Do not be carried away by impressions. So instead of saying, "You never listen," a Stoic might say, "Sometimes I feel unheard." Instead of, "You always fail," they would say, "This often happens and it matters to me." Do you feel the difference? One path provokes war. The other opens the door to understanding. So guard against these words. They may feel powerful in the moment, but in reality, they strip you of power. Because true power is not in exaggeration. It is in clarity. The one who masters their tongue, he masters their presence. And the one who masters presence commands respect without ever demanding it. Conclusion. The Stoics understood this truth. Words are not just sounds, they are the shadows of our character. Discipline in words is discipline in thought. And the one who masters this discipline radiates strength without shouting, without demanding. Every word you speak either makes you stronger or slowly erodes who you are. Guard them well. If this video spoke to you, take a moment to subscribe to The Stoic Habit so we can walk this path together. And when you're ready for the next step, watch 7 Stoic phrases that command instant respect. One teaches you what to avoid, the other what to embrace. Thank you for listening. And remember, calm words are the mark of an unshakable mind. Comment, "I choose to guard my words," and practice it every day.